The hard stuff is usually something when it happens to either family or friends, whether that's sickness, death.
It's hard going through these things alone, and it's hard enough having to deal with it at work. I had like a mental breakdown at work. I went through a hard time and I struggled to come into work, and what got me through was my work colleagues. And in fact, just being honest and open. So like letting the site manager know the job that I was running. I told him my situation, and I told the manager underneath and my fellow co-workers. And I guess I just wanted to share that because in the construction industry, there's a persona around it that you have to be hard or like just strong. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go through it alone. There's always people there to help. And if I didn't ask for that help, I would have not gotten through. Even if it's just asking how you feel, but like how you really feel, you know, and taking that time away to just have a beer or, you know, have a bit of lunch outside of work makes all the difference, eh?
It's rearing its head more and more. It's a huge concern, you know. Rates of suicide in the construction industry are disgraceful when you look at them. It's, you know, the amount of men that are killing themselves every year due to work stress and family stress. There's just something that needs to be done. There's changes that have to be made. And I think when you're performing in a leadership role, you've got a responsibility, and you know, you've got to lead by example.
Some of my family members have had issues with mental health. And then actually on New Year's Eve, my brother passed away from suicide. So that's been really difficult for both our family and our work family. He actually worked at our office as well. Too often it's hidden and not talked about. And my brother is a perfect example of this, is that you think that things are going okay, but without actually knowing what's going on behind the scenes, you really don't know what's happening. As time went on, it got easier to talk about. Communicating with it to everyone was really important. One of the first things we did was actually we held a toolbox talk for our whole company and just talked about it and just said what had happened and that we want to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else. We have workplace support, so the team members can go out and talk to them. But also just being a bit more flexible with time and when people are at work or when people are not at work, and just working through that with them. As a family and friends, we've gone through a whole lot of highs and lows. I think the small things and you think that's great as a win, and then other times it gets you down a little bit. So I think celebrating those small wins are really important, things that the family can celebrate. So whether that's a family barbecue or a player of the day or I don't know, a win at work or something like that. It doesn't take a lot, but I think it's when you're going through such a tough time, I think that's you got to take time out to really celebrate that stuff. It's a pretty shitty sort of period, so I think if you can celebrate those small ones, I think that's a good thing. If I was starting again, I would just say to start somewhere. I think but too often people get caught up and it's such a big task to do it, but I think just starting somewhere is the key to it. Us guys are terrible at talking to people, and I think the main thing is just talk.
Be honest, be open, you know. You don't have to go it alone. There's people out there, you just got to reach out.
If anyone was going through something similar, I'd say look after yourself first, and then everything else comes behind that. I think you have to be in a good headspace before you can help with anyone else.
Because I've gone through all sorts of different things, depression and suicide and all that kind of stuff. All sorts of like jumbles of things that have come together to like make me the person that I am today. Workplace bullying is one that's only happened to me like maybe twice, but that's lived, right? And my own sort of personal like battles with depression and PTSD and all that kind of stuff is all lived experience. It's taught me a lot about myself and who I am, so Even though like those are like really hard things to go through, that's all really lived experience that I'm proud that has brought me here today. In the most weirdest way, but you know, I'm still here and I'm still living and I'm still breathing, so yeah.